Hey there, it is Rachel, and in this week's podcast episode, I talk about how to reduce the yuck and negative behavior and moods and attitudes by doing what I call a yuck dump, which is where you're allowing your kids to actually talk about the things that are frustrating them. And I give instructions for what that looks like and how it actually does reduce the negative behavior, moods, and attitudes in your home. I talk about that in the episode, but what I really want to talk about in this video is your yuck and actually talking to your kids, not just about their yuck, but about your yuck. Now, obviously, when we think about sharing our yuck with our kids, it makes us a little nervous. How are they going to react to that? Are we going to scare them more? Are we going to make them feel worse? So I want to tell you first why it's important to talk about your yuck, and then I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it so you don't scare them or make the situation worse. So first, the reason it's important to talk to your kids about their yuck, and this is something that I learned when I was a therapist for kids and for teens, is if you're not actually talking about your yuck, first, and most commonly, they sense it anyway. They know that you're stressed. They know that you're going through some struggle. And if you don't tell them what's going on for you, it actually makes them feel even more uncomfortable and even more stressed. So you want to just let them know what's going on so they're not guessing or feeling scared because they don't know what's going on for you. The other reason, though, is let's say you're someone who hides your yuck really well. And a lot of us think we're hiding it, but we really don't. Kids really sense it. But let's say you are someone who hides it well. The problem there is, and again, kids and teens told me this, when they don't see that you are struggling at all, when they think that you are going through everything just fine, it actually makes them feel weird when they struggle. It makes them feel like they have to be perfect or they can't share what's going on for them. So it's actually important for you to talk a little bit about the yuck that you are experiencing. Now, here's the key in how you do this without scaring them more or making them more upset. What you want to do is share your yuck, but also share how you are handling your yuck. So in the episode, I talked about that yuck dumps could happen like at the dinner table. Every family member is talking about their yuck. And what I recommend is, again, you talk about your yuck too. You tell them how you're handling it. And when you do this, a few things happen. First of all, when you're telling them how you're handling it, again, then they're not scared. Yes, you're telling them that you are struggling, but you're also telling them that you have it under control. So they know that everything will be okay if you tell them that you tell them your plan. They know that you are handling it. The second reason you want to tell them how you're handling it is that because you're then modeling strategies for how to handle stress. You're actually giving them examples of how you handle the things that cause yuck in life, which is great for them to have because often they don't know how to deal with their stressors. And the last reason, and parents have told me this over the years, the last reason you want to do this is because when you are forced to tell your kids how you're going to handle something, it actually makes you figure out how you're going to handle something. Often we're in this cycle of yuck and we don't really think about, well, how am I going to get out of it? But if you know you're going to have to share that with your kids, you're more likely to figure out what are the steps to get out of it. So here are a couple of examples of what this might look like. Maybe you're sharing your yuck and what you say is, something about, I'm very nervous about next school year. I know you're going to be at home or you're not going to be in school as much, and I'm worried about how much you're going to be able to socialize. That's something that's been on my mind. So I'm handling it by looking into programs that are going to offer socialization next year. So again, you told them what you were worried about and you told them how you were handling it. Another example, maybe unrelated to what's going on right now, maybe you say something to them like, I'm feeling really overwhelmed right now. I feel like I have way more on my to-do list than I have time to do it in. And the way I'm going to handle that is I'm going to write down everything that I have to do, and I'm going to figure out how I'm either going to get it done or delegate it to someone else. Again, you're telling them what is causing yuck in your life, but you're also telling them how you're handling it. And that's going to make sure that you do find a way to handle it. So you want to share what's going on for you because it makes kids feel less alone, and it really does provide a very good model for how they can start to handle their stress. If you want to know a little bit more about yuck dumps and how to handle the negativity in behavior, moods, and attitudes in your home, check out my latest podcast episode, which is episode 42 of Your Parenting Long Game. And I'll be back again soon with another tip for you. Take care.